Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Rating My Dungeon Experience, and today I am in Blackrock Dungeon. I haven't been in this one in a long while, because I've quit WoW multiple times now, but I'm glad to be back in this one. I'm grabbing all my quests, so let's get started. And our healer has just left the dungeon. So already starting off on a super strong start, let's go ahead and search for new healers. Certainly that won't take a long time, right? Spoiler alert, it did take a long time. Thankfully, our paladin can just heal all the way from 20% to 100% in literally the cast of one button. So all in all, we don't even really need a healer for this dungeon apparently, because they can just do that. So that's cool. So I mean, don't get me wrong. I haven't been playing WoW in a long time, and I just got back. So we started heading to this rock boss, but then our tank just did a full 180 and started going this way. And I didn't really know what the heck was going on, so I was just rolling at it with the time. But I thought this was going to be some huge dungeon where we were going to down multiple bosses and have a nice adventure through Blackrock depths. But if you look on the right-hand side, there's only 2 bosses we have to kill. So I guess at some point Blizzard just divvied up these dungeons into a lot of smaller sections, because there's got to be at least a dozen bosses in this boss. Like, definitely over 10 for sure, but in this section we only have to worry about 2. So at this point we're kind of just fighting the same mobs over and over until we finally reach the first boss, which is just another one of the same mobs, but he has a special name. And we actually pull him without a healer at first, but then a healer then joins us immediately. So that's pretty good. Now we actually have an official healer, and then I proceed to pop every cooldown imaginable in my rotation and just absolutely dominated the DPS charts like the Giga Chad I am, just absolutely blowing away the competition with my elite DPS. Don't worry about me, just a 10-year-old WoW veteran coming through. Never have played Warlock before, doing big damage. Yeah, forget that hunter. And he dies. And through my efforts, I am rewarded absolutely no loot. Thank you, Blizzard. At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter anyway, because everything you do from levels 1 to 59 has absolutely no value or anything to your character, because you just raffle stomp everything in sight until you reach level 60, and then that's apparently in air quotes where the true game begins. So that's a whole rant in itself, because they just have completely nullified the leveling experience all the way up there. I mean, to the point where you get boosts. But that's a whole nother rant in itself. And then now apparently we're fighting the other boss, so this guy's got a shit ton of health, and I have no cooldowns this time, but I'm still just gonna be top DPS and top fragging like a mofo. And then this boss does absolutely nothing during the fight. Not a single spell, not a single mechanic. At least in Wrath of Lich King dungeons, you had to deal with some mechanic stuff. You know, that was interesting. And some of the later dungeons you do too from other expansions, but oh, he's casting a spell, but he kind of just gets interrupted and dies. And then everyone levels up because you just get a ton of experience. And I got a cool little monocle, so I guess that was a little plus there. And then everyone leaves. And that was a dungeon, because there were only 2 bosses. And I picked up all those quests, and I go to teleport back in, and none of the quests are completed because they're related to other parts of the dungeon. Then everyone leaves. 6 out of 10, not exciting at all, but pretty easy.